I've been playing Enfield for hundreds of hours across beta and release and probably experienced most of the things that exist in the game. During that time I found an unbelievable amount of hidden features and tricks that would make my life a lot easier if only I found them earlier. Today I decided to compile all of my discoveries together with some general tips in this video so you can avoid my mistakes. And without further ado, let's get started. So we know how in Valley you have to put cables manually, right? And for some reason game doesn't really allow you to use Arknight pylons from the wooling in Valley. So you can just connect them directly and you have to do cables. Sometimes there are places where it seems like there is enough space to just do the cable. For example, here you can see it's only 40 meters and you can do cables up to 80. You can start the cable transmission and then teleport. Once you're teleported, it draws a straight line from the place where you were before the teleport and to where you teleported. And if you carefully go back, if you put then a relay down, you can connect it and will do a straight line connection. So if you've been playing around with team compositions, you might have noticed that sometimes characters use their combo skills in wrong order. You would use Antel, you would use this, and then you can see that first procs Wolfguard and second one procs Antel. To fix it, you can actually manipulate the way the combo works. Here in party setup, if you change the order to be first the character you want to have their combo procced first, and then the character who's supposed to go after them, it will actually change the priority. Again, we use Antel skill, we use Perlica skill, and you can see Antel now appears first, so you can use his, and then use Wolfguard, and it will work exactly as intended. Speaking about combos, I saw a lot of people complain that you can actually see how long the combo cooldown is for each character, and that's exactly how I felt as well initially. You actually do have a way of seeing combo. Let me use somebody. As you can see, I use the combo on the Wolfguard, and here, right here above his HP, you can see the bar being filled. This is actually the combo readiness. Once the bar is fully filled, they can use their combo again. See it above HP, if it glows, then it means it's ready. If it doesn't glow, then you have to wait a little longer or it's unavailable for some other reason. If you already upgrade your operators, you may find that consumables that you can produce on factory are actually pretty bad. The ones that you can make is something like Back Capsule that heals you 900 HP, or Can Citron that heals a little bit more, or if you go in Wooling, it will heal you about slightly less than 2000 HP. It's not bad, right? But there are some better ones. Say the one I'm using right now heals you 5% HP for 6 seconds and 320 on top of that for 6 seconds, right? So it has the same amount of heal as this one, but also heals you 30% of HP. The problem with these consumables is that you can't actually create them from the factory, right? You can automate them because you need like a special version of a plant. These plants you can only find them in a wild, but you can actually semi-automate it. Well, I won't call it automated, but say a way more convenient way of getting them. So instead you can set up the farm like this. The Yajin plots, even though that's not exactly what you need, they have a chance of giving you a upgraded version of a plant, right? So all you need to do is to set up. You can put up to 20 of these plots. I definitely do recommend putting sprinklers here. They will automatically water, so you'll need to only to collect them and to replant once a day or however often you actually will need this. But yeah, as you can see, I collected 4 plots and I got 6 Thorny Yajin from them. On average, from what I noticed, each plot gives you about 2 on average. After I collect all the plots that I have here, I get about 30 to 40 of these, and each Thorny Yajin actually gives you 2 powders. So now let me show you another way of making credits, and what's more important, making bills. You can go to the depot now. You can actually do other people's deliveries as well. If you go here to list of delivery jobs, you can find a bunch of people sending their jobs. As far as I'm aware, you don't need to be friends with those people. Occasionally you can find here wooling delivery jobs, but they are like extremely rare. Also, if you don't know how people do this, you can actually do it as well. It can save you a lot of time. So you start the delivery job as usual, right? Start the delivery, and here what you need to do, you open the mission menu, and here there's a button transfer job, and once somebody else picks it up and does it, you will just get the reward as usual. Basically there is like, I don't know, several dozens of these unique NPCs that get the delivery, and each NPC can give you a special reward one time. I think the special reward is almost always 20,000 credits, and some consumable or like a gift on top of that. I don't think there is a way to keep track of them, so your best bet is just to remember which ones you delivered to and which ones you haven't. But yeah, if you're low on credits, there is like a million, maybe a couple of million credits that you can get through just doing delivery jobs. There is a gear system in this game that ranges from gray gear all the way to the gold one. All the gears are using actually very different components, right? As you can see, this one doesn't use anything apparently, just wood. This one uses amethyst components, this one uses ferrum components, this one crystal components, and these ones are using cyanide components that can only be made in wooling. If you haven't reached the point in the game where you can make these components, I strongly recommend not making anything below that. Not only many of these tend to give very small bonuses, well, these are like noticeable, I guess, if you just equip all 4 of them, mostly from the substats. It's not really worth it. The game is not really hard enough for you to need those to progress with the game, and you will be progressing very, very often. I think at certain point they added the progression rewards that give you gear components. I don't know at what point they give you those, because they just send me an email, like a bunch of them. Game will provide you some components, so even if you struggle with lower level gear, you will be able to get some better one and just craft the essentials for your like main DPS, and you shouldn't have faced any problems and can completely skip all the gear up until wooling gear, which will probably be your main one at the moment. So somewhat similar to original Arknights, in this game there is a shop with credits, right? Normally it just has some bunch of basic materials, but with some chance this shop can spawn ore barrel and arsenal tickets, which is usually what I'm mainly going for. Usually I just refresh till I see some of them, right? They almost always like very, very high priced. It's usually like 400, 200. In rare occasions they can be like 20 or 40, but you need a lot of the credits. If you buy anything else besides those, chances are if you like keep refreshing, you won't be able to actually find all of them or more of them, right? Actually, while we are here, let me show you how to earn credits properly. I really do recommend you adding a bunch of friends if you can. So all you need to do is to visit their ships and find them a ready-to-go reception room. Basically, that means they collected all the clues. Each ship with clues collecting will give you 50 credits, right? You can also just, while you're here, assist them with production. You can do it up to 5 times per day. You can assist up to 5 times per day, and you can collect the clues up to 5 times per day. This icon, the yellow one, tells you that their ship has the clues ready. And it's not like a big deal, right? But it's still additional resources that you really don't want to miss. On average, I would say it's probably 25 ore barrel, like 20 arsenal tickets, depending on what you find in the shop. Normally per day I find like 2, sometimes 3 of either ore barrel or arsenal tickets, tokens, and I usually buy out all of them. It's 25, it's only 120 for the pull, but that means if you find it 20 times, you basically get a single pull. As I said, I usually find 2 of them, sometimes 3 of them per day, and that's equivalent of like 1 pull every 10 days. If you didn't know, there are some hidden recipes for the factory in this game. If you go to any facility, right, and you go here, it shows you all recipes that are available for this planting unit, or for any other facility. But it's not always like this. If you go for refining unit, you can see that there is a bunch of different formulas that you can use. There is actually this formula, where you can produce 2 carbon from 1 yagen, which is only available on wooling, because it requires planting unit to have water. If you use that one, you will produce twice more carbon, and this recipe does not exist initially here. I believe you can put here other, that is wooling specialty, and will also produce 2 carbon. Yeah, as you can see, this was not one of the recipes before. It does start appearing as soon as you use it. So keep in mind, there are some hidden recipes, and one of them is using wooling specialties to produce twice more carbon. If you've gotten to the point where you start artificing your gear, there are actually a couple of tricks there as well. So you could have seen that there are some gear that marked as good match and some say standard match. So most gears have 2 different main stats. For this case, it's intellect and agility, and one of the stats is often higher. Here, for example, we can see 87 intellect and 58 strength. If you're trying to improve the highest one, you probably can't really do much. But if you're upgrading lowest one, then you want to use gear that has the higher amount of that stat. We're upgrading agility here. If you use this one doesn't have very high agility, right? It's also secondary stat, it's only 58, which is exactly the same as this one. If you use the gear that has the highest stat, for example here agility is the main one, and it has the higher value than this one, it will actually mark it as a good match. I unfortunately don't really know what the exact odds are there, because the game doesn't disclose it, at least I haven't found it, but it is a noticeably higher chance ever since I started artificing with good matches instead of standard matches. I actually got a lot better progress. Most kits also, as other gears, have two main stats. There are a few that have only one, like these ones. And as far as I'm aware, you actually can use them, and if we go to improve kit, here it will say good match, yeah. So for kit specifically, you can find some of them that have only one stat and it will be higher, and you want to use them for artificing as well. So you may find yourself in D-Jung where you want to talk to operators or maybe give them something. Very often they are in most random places. You actually don't need to look for the operators, to talk to them. There is this thing called meeting point. If you interact with it, you can call up to 3 different operators, no matter where they are. It actually doesn't interrupt their workflow, so they will still work if you care about this like couple of minutes inefficiency. They will still technically work, but they will all appear near here. They also tend to leave sometimes if you take a while, but yeah, you can call them here, you can give them some gifts and do everything else. And here's some more facts about the resources, the basic ores such as Erigenium, Amethyst and Ferrium. A lot of them are tied to development level. You can find yours in here. You probably already encountered that when you go to set up some mine machines, you can find that some of them would be unavailable. It usually tells you that you can unlock them by raising your development level. On top of that, as you can see, some of them say high purity and some of them say low purity. I don't think I have any low purities at the moment. Some of them start as low purity and then they go up to high purity, and that's actually also connected to development level. I made this mistake when I was like development level 9 or 10, I believe. And here, I remember from beta that you get 560 Erigenium ore and 1080 Ferrium ore. So I spent like 20-30 minutes trying to figure out where I'm missing them. So with upping the development level, you will actually start mining more ores. A lot of people don't seem to read through this, through the passives, and sometimes you would think that the more passives the character has, the better. And it's usually true, but not always. There are 3 types of passives. One of them increases the amount of stock builds that you get when trading. One of them increases the stock build production, and third one increases the outpost prosperity that you get, which is basically this level. The first that increases outpost prosperity is pretty much useless as soon as you max out the levels, which shouldn't really take that long. These two work very similarly. One of them increases the amount of stock builds you earn without doing anything. So as long as you trade, you will just get 20% bonus. Another one increases by 20% the amount they produce. As you can see here, that they get right now from Levitain and now 20% from the tower defense mode. That means if you use that passive, you will have to produce 20% more goods to actually utilize it, right? It means if you have to choose between two of these, as you can see, each time the outpost earns, they earn one more. This one is the one that increases the production of stock builds, and this one just makes you earn more. So if you have to choose between them, you would actually want to go for this one, because again, it doesn't require you to produce more goods or to sell more goods to earn more. There's this reward that you can get past level 60, right? And it doesn't tell you exactly what it gives you. It says it's a random rewards and you might even get some ore barrels. But from my experience in beta, these boxes actually give you ore barrels each time. So each level that you will get one of these boxes and you will always get some ore barrel. It's not a lot, I think it usually is between like 15 and 25, maybe and 30 maybe. It averages about 20 to 25 I believe per box. So it means each level that you will get ore barrel plus some additional rewards such as like XP books or crystals to level up your talents and some stuff like this. Getting levels past level 60, while pretty slow as you can see, I haven't even gotten past level 60 yet, I do definitely recommend you try not to miss out on this. Once again, it's similar with Credit Store, it's not a giant deal, but all these small sources of ore barrel will add up and make a big difference if you make all of them. So I don't think I can find any more robots in my world, but if you already encounter them, you know that they give you this special Tetris puzzle, right? What I did notice that more often than not, the solution to those puzzles is symmetrical. Symmetrical either horizontally, vertically, or in rare occasions diagonally. If any of these puzzles have several stages, it's usually the same solution to every stage. So even if you solve the first phase and it gives you the second one with like very different pieces but what seems to be the same layout, chances are it will have this exact same solution as the first one. So again, instead of waiting for the hint, you can imagine what it should be and solve with that. Sometimes it actually gives you a different layout. It's usually like a bigger one, and in that case it tends to be a similar solution but just scaled up. So at certain point in the game you unlock this stock redistribution elastic goods, right? These are the products that you can buy each day, and they change their price to some random amount, I think between 600 and like 5 or 6,000. I saw a lot of people doing this mistake of just buying them and waiting for the price to change to some high amount, which I mean, I guess it's natural. You don't actually have to do it. If you just click here on friends price, you can find some people with high pricing. I guess, well, this one is not super high. Let's see this one. Right, you can see 5,000 here. You can click visit friendship. You can actually sell it for their price. All you need to do is to go to this, create on their ship, and here you can see the same products, right? You can just click here and sell them all for their price. If you have enough friends added, you can probably do it pretty much every day. At most, I had to wait like a day or two to get some good price. And more often than not, you can sell the same day for the profit and you don't have to wait at all. If you reach the point where you want to farm weapon essences, you may have realized that weapon farming is actually taking a lot more time than the other domains, right? Because there is like 20 to 30 enemies that spawn in each one of these, whereas in usual domains it's like 5 to 8 characters. It actually does have a good reason for that, because unlike all the other domains, essences domains happen in the overworld, so you can speed them up a lot if you set up a bunch of gun towers. I usually like doing a bunch of search towers and a bunch of single target towers, the beam towers in this case. I'm not exactly sure how much time it saves, but it is really bothersome to clear it without them. It may take like up to 3-4 minutes if you are not like super invested, or if you don't have like a good AoE team, and it actually helps a lot with the towers. You can actually even stay AFK and just wait. In Wooling, sometimes you can find these slugs. This one is pretty lively because I think I already interacted with it, but sometimes you'll find them dehydrated. They will be like lying on the ground and very dead looking. All you need to do with them is you need to equip a spray with water and just, you know, spray some on them. It really doesn't take a lot of time, and they will give you a reward after you're doing them. If I can find one, I'll put up the video on the screen of me doing that, but as of now I couldn't find any slugs that are yet in need of water. If you find a slug and you can see it being dehydrated, just spray some water on it and it will give you a small reward. And that's about all the hidden features that I could recall. As you can see, this video was a little different format where it's less scripted and more of me just winging it. It's a lot easier for me to do this type of thing, so if it's completely fine with you, please do tell me. I may make more of these videos and more of them overall in the future. If I do manage to remember more of the tips and tricks, then I may make a second part of this video, so if you have some of your own to share, please do leave in the comments. I may include them in the next video too. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like and subscribe to not miss any of the upcoming ones. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!